Today I want to tell you a very interesting story about a coin that many people talk about online, the 2005p Jefferson nickel. You might have seen videos or posts saying this coin is extremely rare, ultra valuable, or even worth $5,000. Some people claim that if you find one in your pocket, you could be rich. But before believing anything, it's important to understand the real history of this nickel, why it looks the way it does, why some versions are valuable, and why most of them are not. So in this video, I'm going to break everything down in slow, simple language so everyone watching can understand the full truth without any confusion. This will help you know what to look for in your own coins, what is real, what is hype, and how you can tell if your nickel has any chance of being worth more than face value. To start, let's talk about the year 2005 and why it was special for the United States nickel. That year, the U.S. Mint released a special series called the Westward Journey Nickel Series. This series was created to honor the journey of Lewis and Clark, the exploration of the American West, and Thomas Jefferson's role in that history. Because of this special theme, the Mint decided to change the usual design on the nickel. So instead of the traditional Jefferson portrait that had been on nickels for decades, 2005 brought a completely fresh look. Jefferson's portrait on the front was redesigned, giving the coin a more modern feel, with Jefferson facing forward instead of sideways. Then on the back of the coin, the Mint introduced two different designs that year. One of those designs is the famous American bison, or buffalo, which is the one most people get excited about. This is the version most people are talking about when they say, the rare 2005 nickel. The other design from the same year is sometimes called Ocean in View, and it also came out during 2005, but the buffalo design is the one collectors pay the most attention to. Now, just because a coin has a special design does not automatically mean it is rare. In fact, the Philadelphia Mint produced more than 400 million of the 2005p buffalo nickels. That means there are many, many of them out there. So if you find one in your change, it doesn't automatically make you rich. Most of them are still worth exactly 5 cents. However, some specific versions, and some with special errors or very high grades, can be worth much more, and that's where the story gets interesting. So why do some people think this coin can be worth huge money? The answer has to do with three things: condition, rarity of certain errors, and collector demand. Let's start with the condition. In coin collecting, this is called the grade. The better the condition, the more valuable the coin could be. A coin that looks brand new, with no scratches, dents, wear, or dullness, might be called a mint state coin. These are graded on a scale from 60 to 70. If you have a 2005p buffalo nickel that is graded MS66, MS67, or higher, it can sell for good money because coins in those grades are not easy to find in the wild. Once coins go into circulation, they get scratched in pockets, worn from use, rubbed against other coins, and slowly lose detail. So a perfectly clean one with strong shine and sharp detail can sell for far more than a normal one. Some extremely high-grade versions have sold in the hundreds of dollars, and sometimes even over $1,000. But these perfect coins are very rare, and usually they were saved directly from mint rolls or mint bags before they ever entered circulation. Another reason certain 2005p nickels can be valuable is because of errors. Error coins are mistakes made at the mint during the manufacturing process. These mistakes are unintentional, and because they happen rarely, collectors find them interesting and valuable. For the 2005p nickel, there are a few types of errors that can raise the value. One example is the clipped planchet error, where a small part of the coin's edge is missing because of a miscut metal blank. These can sell for hundreds or even over $1,000 when graded and authenticated. There are also off-center strikes, die cracks, die clashes, and other unusual minting mistakes that make a coin stand out from the rest. But again, these are not common. Most 2005 nickels you find will not have any errors. Real errors must be confirmed by experts, not just random marks or scratches that happen after the coin leaves the mint. Another big question people have is why so many videos online say the coin is worth $5,000. The truth is that most of these claims are exaggerated. Sometimes sellers online list a common coin for a crazy price, hoping someone who doesn't know much will buy it. But a listing price is not the same as a real sale price. A coin is only worth what someone is actually willing to pay for it. Most collectors check real auction records, real grading results, and real market sales. And when you look at those real numbers, the regular 2005p nickel without errors is only worth a few cents, maybe up to $1 if it's in slightly better condition. Even very nice versions normally sell for under $50. The coins that sell for hundreds or thousands are the rare exceptions that have testing, grading, and professional confirmation. So while it is possible for a 2005 nickel to sell for thousands, it is very unlikely. It's like winning a small lottery. It can happen, but it usually doesn't. So how do you know if your 2005p nickel is valuable or not? First, look at the condition. Does it look new, shiny, and untouched? Or is it scratched, dirty, or worn? If it looks worn, it probably does not have high value, though it can still be worth checking for errors. Next, look closely for anything unusual. Are there strange shapes, lines, missing parts of the design, or off-center features? Does the edge look clipped or uneven? Does it look like something was struck onto the coin twice? If you see something that looks different from a normal coin, it might be an error. But be careful. Damage from use, like hitting another coin or being dropped on a hard surface, is not a mint error. True mint errors happen during production and usually have a very specific look. If you think you might have an error coin, you should compare it to verified examples online, or take it to a coin shop or an experienced collector. They can help you tell the difference between real errors and damage. If you think your coin truly is special, rare, or unusually well preserved, the next step is professional grading. This is done by companies that examine the coin, confirm it is authentic, check for errors, and assign a grade. Once a coin is graded, collectors trust it more, and it can sell for much higher prices. But grading costs money, so you should only send a coin in if you truly believe it has strong potential. Sending in a common 5-cent coin for grading is not worth it because you would spend more money than the coin is worth. Even though most 2005p nickels are not valuable, many people still enjoy collecting them because the design is unique and it represents an important moment in American coin history. The buffalo design reminds many people of earlier U.S. coins from the early 1900s, which makes it even more interesting for collectors. And because so many were made, it is easy for beginners to start their collection with this coin. It is affordable, fun to search for, and has the possibility, even if small, of finding something rare. So should you save your 2005p nickels? Sure, why not? They are fun to collect, and you never know when you might find a better one. Just don't fall for claims that all of them are worth thousands. That is not true. Only a very tiny number of them reach those high values, usually because of very specific errors or extremely high grades. The rest are simply cool pieces of history worth their normal amount, or a little more. In the end, the story of the 2005p Jefferson nickel is a reminder that not everything online is accurate. It's important to learn the real facts, understand how coin collecting works, and know what makes a coin valuable. If you enjoy searching your change for interesting coins, then the 2005 nickel is a great one to look for. It is fun, it is historic, and it keeps the thrill of treasure hunting alive. And maybe, just maybe, you might be lucky enough one day to find one of the rare versions.